first thing I did was remove the door paneling. I had to pull up the thing that had all the window, door, and mirror switches on it, in which there were a lot of wires that I had to disconnect, and some of those clips were not easy to get off. Next was the door lock and the reflector, followed by 3 10mm bolts. Lastly, I had to pop out all the clips just to find out that there were more wires to disconnect. That motherfucking driver door had so much shit on it! After the paneling was off, I put the bolts back in their place so that I wouldn't lose them or forget where they went. That's using your noggin. Now that the paneling is off the door, I could work on disassembling it. When I was a kid, I used to love taking things apart to see how they worked or to see how they were built and then put them back together, so this job was really fun to me. These screws, or whatever the fuck they called, were a pain in the ass to remove, and there were a bunch of them on every door. There seems to be no tool in which to remove them, so I had to take a small screwdriver, slide it up under the lip, and then twist it to lift it up enough to where I can get a grip on it with these tiny pliers and then turn it that way. Next, I was removing the locks from the housing. My car always had an issue with randomly locking by itself, and when I took it apart, I could see that there was some corrosion on the connection. It must have got wet from when the window was down during the rain or something, but once I cleaned it off, I fixed the issue. Here you see me removing the carpet that was glued to the bottom of the door. The back doors were a lot easier since they didn't have as much stuff on it and they didn't have nearly as many of those weird nuts and screws. The bottom half was held by clip latches instead of those fuck bitches. Now that I have all the doors taken apart and all the pieces assembled, it's time to start washing everything and get as much of the dirt and oil from our skin off. And on the bottom part of the door, I had to remove the glue residue. After they're all cleaned, it's time to sand all the pieces except for the vinyl ones. After a quick wipe down, it's time to prime and paint. I had leftover paint from when I did the Cadillac, so I used that to make the pieces shine, sparkle, and pop more. The back doors didn't have any speakers installed, so I decided to put some in. I cut a hole in the panel and screwed in some 6.5s. Then I marked the door and started cutting with a sawzall until I fucked up the blade. I moved on to a jigsaw and went through a lot of blades until I finally had cut enough for the speaker to fit in, and it was time to file down the metal and make it real nice and smooth. However, after all this work, I found out that the depth of the door was too shallow and the speakers wouldn't fit in. Then I removed the back seat and the back dash. After that, it was removing the front dash and disassembling the speedometer. I was working on a few different designs. 0, 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, oh shit! But I ended up trashing them. On this one, I have Shiva and Ifrit associated with the cold and hot temperatures of the car. Over here, you can see Vegeta's penis being a gas gauge, so when I'm full on gas, he seems quite happy. I wanted the speedometer to be different and very original, but I decided to just keep it plain and simple and with the theme of the car. For a while, I was driving without a speedometer. That was fun, having to guess how fast I was driving. Now that I got this black piece off, I can see that they had holes for speakers to go in the back dash, but they never put any in there. There was just this plastic cover. So, you know what I had to do. I got some speakers, I ran some wires to the radio, and we installed the fucking speakers in the dash. Painting the weather stripping didn't go over very well. Even though I was using paint from vinyl, the paint would crack and start chipping very easily. That was another issue I had to work on. Now's the time to start working on the switch box for my amps, speakers, and other stuff. Here you see me measuring and getting the right angles. This was my first design, starting off simple, then my second design, but then I ended up going with my third design.
Got the seatbelts taken off. Man, them fucking bolts are huge as fucking shit. I had to buy this bit. $10 for this motherfucking bit. That's ridiculous. But yes, we're gonna customize the seatbelts too.
With dyeing seatbelts, I had to use a special dye, and the directions said to soak it for about 45 minutes. They got a little darker but didn't turn black, so I had to do some more research. Come to find out, the material that seatbelts are made of is very hard to dye. I ended up having to boil them in dye for a couple hours and constantly add more water in as it was evaporated. But on one of the seatbelts, I forgot about it and just about all the water got evaporated and the seatbelt started to melt. I removed the front seats and now the car is looking like this. But I still needed to get around to places. So how did I do it?
Yeah, look how I'm motherfucking driving. You didn't even see that? No motherfucking seats in the goddamn car. They ain't stopping me.
Next, I carefully removed the airbag and the steering wheel. I found this company that makes custom steering wheels out of steel that looked pretty cool. I was gonna have one custom made of a Black Panther, however, the company was back ordered and I kept getting the runaround, so for temporary purposes, I just painted the steering wheel, but as you can see, the paint doesn't like to stick on the wheel very well. Moving on to the pedals, I removed the rubber grip from the brake pad and started drilling holes. Then I added these aftermarket pedals to make the pedals a little bit larger. Then added putty and sanded them down. After a while, I had to upgrade my driver's seat. I decided to paint my carpet, so I took them to get professionally cleaned. After that, I bought a bunch of paint for carpet and started painting. Do you see this? It's not really doing anything. Come to find out, with painting carpet, you can't go lighter, you can only go darker, so I was fucked. I ended up just custom ordering a new carpet and floor mats. While I was waiting for the carpet to come in the mail, I removed the top vinyl. It was a pain in the ass to get off. Not only was it glued down with some super duty shit, it had some screws in it that I didn't know about. I had removed all the glue, and since I used a flat bar to pry it off, I pulled the area around the screws up, so I had to use a hammer to knock them back down level and be careful not to add any more dents or scratches that I did with the flat bar. About half of the screw holes had rust around them, so I had to sand them out, clean them up, and then fill in the holes. I also didn't know that removing the top would leave a gap around the windshield and all four doors, making it leak when it rained. So I had to put some silicone all around to fix that. Here you can see the final result of the pedals, the switch box in which I need to finish wiring, the brand new white carpet and Black Panther floor mats. I also installed a phone charger and an AC plug adapter right here. You can see MLK Jr. on the one door, Black Power on the dash, Malcolm X on the driver door, and Huey and Garvey on the back doors. Now I know what you're thinking. A lot of people have told me that I'm either crazy or brave as fuck for having white interior because it's gonna be a bitch to keep clean. That's why I got these hand wipes to use before entering the car and foot covers that doctors wear in the hospitals.
But wait, there's more.
I still have some decorative pillows that I bought that I'm going to wrap in the same material that I used for the interior to have in the back seat. Not only that, I bought some high quality black lights for the car that are going to be everywhere to make the whole entire thing glow. Some of the fabric already glows, but some of the fabric materials, like the carpet for instance, doesn't glow. But there's a special formula that you can mix together and spray on the fabrics to make them glow with the fluorescent light.
First door is done. I did make a couple mistakes. As you see, I put the fabric on upside down on this piece, and Martin Luther King Jr., I put it way too low. But you know, it's the first door I made a mistake, so the other doors I will not make the same mistake. But other than that, it looks pretty good. You can't really tell because the sun ain't hitting it right, but there's a whole bunch of metallic flakes all in there to make that sparkle and shit. So can you see that sparkle right there? That part's sun hitting, but you can't really get the sun hitting on that. Not yet, the sun ain't in the right place. But yeah, it came out looking pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Just got to do the whole rest of the car now. Took these pieces off, wasn't easy. These fucking clips are tight as a motherfucker. So now we gotta add this to the list of shit that I gotta fucking paint. Sand, prime, and paint. Well, I got what I ordered, but how the fuck are you supposed to plug this in? I think this is the most stupidest shit in the world. Why sell a product and don't sell the motherfucking plug to use it? What the fuck am I supposed to plug it into, my? So this is the original carpet, and I put some bleach here, and it's actually starting to get a little white. I might have wasted my money on that new carpet. I just went through and I put a little bit of bleach all over. I took the brush, I was trying to scrub it in some. Ignore that. I was trying to scrub it in some, you know what I'm saying? And I think I might do a second layer, because that's white, but it's not white. Maybe if I do another layer of bleach, I can just have this motherfucker be my new rug, you know what I'm saying? Bleached white like I want, because the shape is just so perfect. And the new rug they sent me, they don't have this fucking shit on there that holds the fucking shape, you know what I'm saying? The new rug does have a shape to it, but it's not perfect. And they trying to tell me that, oh, just give it some time, you know, after, you know, a couple weeks the carpet will set and yada yada. Man, I don't know about that shit. I don't know if I trust it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do this just in case, and we'll see what happens. I contacted this company and I said, hey, I need this made. They made it, they shipped it out to me, and there was a problem. It was sideways. So the fabric I got is printed the wrong way. It's printed this way, long ways, in portrait mode, when it needs to be landscaped, because it's too fucking short this way and too long this way. So now I called the company and they're like, oh, my bad, we're sorry, so we're gonna send you out. Now I gotta wait another motherfucking week before I can get the motherfucking shit to do what I gotta motherfucking do. So they told me that they was going to redo it and send it back out to me, and I would get it after a week. A week goes by, I call them up, I'm like, yo, I haven't got it yet, what's up? They look into it, they're like, oh, for some reason that order was canceled, but we're gonna go ahead and redo that order for you and get it shipped out to you. Another week goes by, I call them up, I'm like, yo, what's going on? It's been another week, you know what I'm saying? Then they're like, oh, we are really sorry about this, we don't know what's going on, you know, we see that they've been canceled twice, we don't know why, we're gonna do an investigation on it, but we're gonna go ahead and order you again this to get redone and sent out to you. Finally today, they emailed me. Our production team has contacted me regarding the previous reprint, and it was canceled due to an issue with the print file. What issue are they having with this file? They were able to do it at first. It was sideways. I don't understand what's the problem here. So they gave me two choices. I can either, you know, get a full refund, or they can, you know, give me back a credit on the account and a 20% off code. So I emailed them back and I was like, yo, I need that shit, and I need it 2 weeks ago. What is the problem with the file so I can fix it and y'all can do this shit and send it out to me? So they sent me an email back. The production team has informed them that there is no issue with the artwork itself. It seems that it's an internal system error causing this issue with orientation. If they reprint it, it'll have the same issue. What the fuck is going on here? You know what I'm saying? There was no issue making it the first time. Just because you want to put it the other way, you know what I'm saying, just rotate it 90 degrees. What
You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can think of is they're being racist and they do not want to make it because it has to deal with, you know, pro-black.